Imagine a world where Deku possesses a rare and formidable quirk. Join us for a thrilling Deku X harem tale packed with action and intrigue. Let's dive in. Since he was a child, Izuku Midoriya was always different. Why? Because he never showed any emotion. His voice was always flat, his expression neutral, and he never smiled. Other kids and even teachers were scared of him. It's not normal for a 4-year-old to never laugh, smile, or cry. So, his mother and teachers agreed to take him to a psychologist. After the session, the psychologist said Izuku was completely normal, except for his lack of emotions. As time passed, his classmates started developing their quirks, like his friend Bakugo Katsuki, who could create explosions with his hands. Everyone except Izuku developed a quirk, but he didn't seem to care at all. One day at a park, Izuku protected a boy from his friend. "Izuku, Kachan. That's not right. Can't you see he's crying?" he said in a flat tone. Katsuki, hey. Even though you don't have a quirk and you're an emotionless weirdo. Katsuki's two friends activated their quirks and Katsuki caused an explosion with his palm. Katsuki, do you think you can be a hero? Deku? He said with a cruel smile. Izuku remained neutral as always while the three kids attacked him. He didn't move and took all the hits until they got bored and left. After they left, Izuku stood up without a scratch and dusted off his clothes. Izuku, that tickled. A few days later, we see a green-haired woman with a neutral-faced boy, until an older man in a white coat entered the room. Inko, so. What is my son's quirk, doctor? Doctor, Mrs. Midoriya. Before I tell you, can you tell me your and your husband's quirks? Inko, oh, sure. I can pull small objects toward me and my husband can breathe fire. Doctor, well. Your son has developed a quirk that's neither of those and is extremely rare. Inko, what is it? She asked, worried. Doctor, indestructibility. Inko, what did you say, doctor? Doctor, Mrs. Midoriya. Your son is indestructible. Inko, indestructible? What do you mean? Doctor, Izuku can't be hurt or feel any physical pain. He's practically like a solid iron human. He can't feel pain of any kind. Inko was shocked, while Izuku stayed neutral as always. Inko, is that possible? Doctor, it's best to run a test. Izuku, doctor. Doctor, yes, young man? Izuku, the other day. My friend Kachan and two others. They hit me a lot in the park near my house. And I let them because I didn't feel anything. Doctor, nothing at all? Izuku, no. Nothing. They hit me until they got tired and I didn't feel any pain. Doctor, then that confirms it. Izuku, your quirk makes your body indestructible. You're immune to pain. Inko was even more shocked, and Izuku remained expressionless. After that, mother and son left the hospital. Hours later, they were back in their apartment. Izuku, Mom. Inko, yes, dear? Izuku, can I be a hero with my quirk? Inko, she stayed silent for a moment. Inko, of course, you can, son. You'll be the best hero ever. She said, ruffling his hair. Izuku, thanks, Mom. 10 years later. We see a black-haired young man walking casually down the street, until he saw a giant villain causing chaos. Izuku moved through the crowd to get to the front. Izuku, who's fighting? Oh, it's Kamui Woods. He said in his usual monotone voice. The wooden hero tried to capture the villain, but a giant blonde woman knocked him out with a kick. After that, the black-haired boy was writing in his notebook. Man, are you taking notes, kid? Awesome. Do you want to be a hero? Good luck. He said with a thumbs up. Izuku, yes. He said as usual. Later, at our protagonist's high school, students were showing off their quirks noisily. Then, a blonde boy said something that angered the class, bragging about being the best. Teacher, But Midoriya also wants to go to UA. This left the blonde boy frozen and the black-haired boy expressionless. The class burst into laughter. Student 1, Midoriya? He'll be the weirdest hero ever. Student 2, how will they take you seriously if you show no emotions? Student 3, we can't even tell if you're sad or angry. You'll just be a freak. Their teasing was interrupted by an explosion that destroyed the black-haired boy's desk, but he didn't flinch. Izuku, my desk. Katsuki, Deku. You're worse than the extras. You're a freak. How dare you stand in the same place as me? Izuku, I'm not competing with you, Kachan. It's just my dream. Besides, I have nothing to lose. Katsuki, what are you saying? Are you taking the exam for fun? They won't consider you if you're just an emotionless nerd. Izuku, so what? Katsuki, TSK. Teacher, sit down, Bakugo. Hours later. After classes ended, students were leaving school while our protagonist was packing his things. Then his hero notebook was snatched from his hands. Katsuki, I'm not done with you. Deku. Izuku, give it back. He said simply. Katsuki, and if I don't? Will you get mad? As if you could. How about this? He exploded the notebook in front of him and threw it out the window. Izuku, my notebook. Katsuki, listen, you freak. He said, grabbing his shirt. Katsuki, forget about applying to UA. Or you'll regret it. Izuku, regret? What? As if you could hurt me. This made Katsuki angrier, tightening his grip. Katsuki, do you think you're brave, you stupid nerd? He said, creating explosions near Izuku's face. Izuku, no. You can't hurt me. You should know that from my quirk. I'm not afraid of you. Wait. I don't feel anything. Katsuki, GRR. Katsuki threw him into the desks. Katsuki, you worthless freak. You're a mistake in this world. He left with the others, leaving Izuku emotionless as always. Later, we see Izuku walking through a tunnel, where he encountered a slime villain, staying stoic as usual. Villain, a medium-sized camouflage shell. You'll be useful. He said, trying to sound intimidating. Izuku, he looked at him for a moment and kept walking as if nothing happened. Villain, hey, you brat. He said, launching at Izuku and capturing him with his slime, entering through his nose and mouth. Villain, relax, it won't hurt for more than 40 seconds. Izuku, it doesn't hurt. But I can't breathe. He tried to remove the slime. Villain, you can't grab me. Thanks, kid. You're my hero. Izuku, is this it? Am I going to die from suffocation? What a humiliating way to die. For someone who can't feel pain. It's all right, young man. Why? Because I am here. The villain tried to hit him, but he dodged. Texas. Smash. He created a huge air pressure that destroyed the villain, freeing Izuku. Izuku, breathing deeply and coughing. Are you okay, young man? Izuku, yes. Thank you, All Might. He said stoically as always. All Might, This kid seems different. Izuku, All Might, could you sign my notebook? All Might, sure, young man. What's with him? He's scary. After signing Izuku's notebook and capturing the villain in a bottle, All Might jumped away, and Izuku went home as if nothing had happened. 10 months passed and Izuku was ready to take the UA entrance exam. Standing in front of the huge academy, our black-haired boy observed the school without any emotion. Many people saw him and were scared by his neutral expression. Izuku, wow. This place is huge. Katsuki, out of my way, Deku, said the angry blonde behind him. Izuku, Kachan. Katsuki, listen to me. If you dare get in my way, I'll kill you. He said before passing him. Izuku, when will he understand that he can't hurt me? He said, then tripped, but a brunette made him float. Are you okay? Izuku, yes. Thank you. Uraka, I'm Uraka Ochako, nice to meet you. Let me lower you. She said, pressing her fingers together, and Izuku was gently set down. Izuku, Midoriya Izuku. Nice to meet you too. Uraka was a bit scared by the black-haired boy's very neutral attitude. Uraka, let's do our best. She said before quickly walking away. Izuku entered too, and inside, they explained how the exam worked, mentioning 3 types of robots. A blue-haired boy interrupted. Excuse me. But this UA pamphlet clearly shows 4 types of robots. If this is a mistake, the prestigious UA should be ashamed. And you, with the black hair. He said, pointing at our protagonist. Izuku, me? You look too calm to be at a hero academy. Do you think this is a game? If you're not going to take the exam seriously, you should leave. He said, but Izuku ignored him completely and kept listening to the explanation. They were then separated into groups in different areas. The protagonist was assigned to Area B, along with his blonde friend. Katsuki, listen, you damn weirdo. If you dare get in my way, you'll pay. Izuku, whatever you say. The doors opened, and most people stayed still, but our protagonist and others started running. He encountered a 3-point robot, which hit him hard, but the robot's arm broke and exploded due to the damage. Izuku, 3 points, and I didn't even have to touch it. He kept running, finding several robots destroyed by explosions. Another 3-point robot appeared behind him, and Izuku turned to punch it in the chest with all his strength, destroying it. Izuku, 6 points. Other 2 and 3-point robots appeared, and he was about to hit them when Katsuki, die! He shouted, exploding both robots. Katsuki, screw you, Deku. I've got 24 points already. Another 3-point robot came his way. Katsuki was about to blast it, but Izuku jumped in front of him, taking the explosion and using it to headbutt the robot, splitting it in half. Izuku, 9 points. Not enough. He said, then ran off. Katsuki, don't get in my way, you damn freak. Izuku kept running, looking for robots to destroy. He found and destroyed several with just his fists, and some robots self-destructed when they hit him, until he had 37 points. Izuku, there are still robots left. I'll keep getting points. Meanwhile. The new generation looks very promising. What's with that black-haired kid? He doesn't seem normal. It's strange how stoic he is. Why do the robots break when he hits them? I saw that kid before. 10 months ago. You know him, All Might? All Might, yes, I met him 10 months ago. He was the same. Showed no emotion. Let's see his file. She said, pulling out our protagonist's file. Does his quirk make metal break or something? No, Midnight. Midoriya Izuku, 15 years old, born July 15, 2005. His quirk is indestructible body? Indestructible? What does that mean? It says here he can't be physically hurt, feels no pain, and can't cause any harm to himself. He's immune to everything, and he can't even catch a cold. Does that quirk really exist? It seems so. We have before us an immortal human. But let's see how he reacts to this. Then, they pressed a red button, and the area shook violently. Suddenly, a gigantic robot appeared, towering over the buildings. Everyone started running away from it. Izuku walked out as if nothing was happening until he heard a voice. He turned and saw a brunette girl trapped under rocks, unable to move. Izuku wasn't going to leave her there and started thinking of a plan to save her. His blonde friend happened to be passing by, and he remembered what he did earlier. Izuku, Kachan, I have a plan to save that girl. Katsuki, screw you, damn nerd. Tough luck if she dies. He said before running off. Izuku, are you going to let an innocent person die? He said, making Katsuki stop. Izuku, you call yourself a hero and plan to let her die? Is that what a hero would do? Katsuki turned around, angry. Izuku, if being a hero means letting people die, then you'll be the best hero at that. Katsuki, completely enraged, grabbed him by the shirt. Katsuki, what the hell do you want to do? Izuku, launch me at that robot with the strongest explosion you can make. Katsuki, confused and angry at the same time, reluctantly agreed. They both took a considerable distance from the robot, held hands, and Katsuki propelled himself with explosions, taking Izuku with him. They made bigger explosions, launching themselves upwards. Then Katsuki created more explosions, starting to spin and gaining momentum. Katsuki, DE. He screamed, then launched Izuku with a massive explosion. Izuku flew with great force towards the robot's head, punching it and completely destroying it. The robot fell and exploded, observed by everyone present, even the heroes in the control area, who were impressed. Izuku fell rapidly to the ground, creating a large crater. What happened? Did he die? He couldn't have survived that fall. Uraka, he saved me. No. I could have helped him float. Why didn't I do it? I'm stupid. She said, shedding some tears. Katsuki, don't be idiots. That damn guy can't die. He said, leaving everyone confused, then looked at the crater and saw Izuku getting up unharmed and walking towards the brunette girl with the same neutral expression, leaving everyone present completely stunned. Izuku, are you okay? Uraka, how did you survive that fall? Izuku. I am indestructible. Izuku, well. The exam's over. I hope you get in. Goodbye. He said before walking away. Later, we see Izuku walking home with Katsuki. Izuku, we make a good team. I don't understand why it bothers you so much. Katsuki, we don't make a damn team. I don't need help from someone like you. Izuku, that's not what happened back there. Thanks to your help, I could save that girl. Katsuki, I didn't help you. I just proved that I'm going to be the #1 hero. Don't think you can count on me for your stupid plans ever again. He said before walking away to his house, just like Izuku. A week later, Izuku got his letter from UA, which had a hologram of the principal, saying he got in second place, with 37 villain points and 50 rescue points. Izuku, yay! The next day, Izuku got ready for his new school. After getting his mom's support, he went straight to his academy. When he got there, he found his classroom and, upon opening the door, saw a blue-haired guy and a blonde guy arguing. As he entered the room, the blonde guy looked at him. Katsuki, TSK. Deku. Ida, oh. You're the one who figured out the hidden reason for the exam. Sorry for how I acted during the presentation. I'm Ida Tenya. Izuku, Midoriya Izuku. He said neutrally as always. Uraka, hey. I recognize that messy hair. She said behind him, making him turn around. Uraka, you saved me from the 0-point robot. You gave it an incredible hit. You're amazing. She said, punching the air with excitement. Uraka, I wanted to ask you what you meant during the exam? ? If you're here to play friends, you better leave. Said a black-haired guy inside a yellow sleeping bag, who then emerged and introduced himself as their teacher, Shota Aizawa. Aizawa, I know it's sudden, but put these on and let's head to the training ground. After that, in the field, Aizawa explained about quirk training and that the last one would be expelled. Aizawa, Bakugo Katsuki, you were the first in the entrance exam. What's your record in ball throwing? Katsuki, 67 meters. Aizawa, now throw this ball with your quirk. Don't step out of the circle. Katsuki, so, I can use my quirk? Alright. DE. He shouted, throwing the ball with an explosion. Izuku, die? Aizawa, 705.23 meters. Then, everyone took turns throwing the ball. The standout was the brunette who threw the ball to infinity. Aizawa, Midoriya Izuku, to the circle. The black-haired guy went to the circle with the ball in hand. He looks like the teacher, they thought. Izuku was about to throw the ball, but Aizawa used his quirk on him, but nothing happened, and Izuku threw the ball with all the strength he had. Aizawa, what? My quirk didn't work on him? Izuku, what was my record? Aizawa, 94.52 meters. Not bad. Katsuki, what? He surpassed my record. Just with his normal strength. That damn nerd. Aizawa, Midoriya. What's your quirk? Izuku, I'm indestructible. He said, leaving most of the students confused, except Katsuki. Indestructible? Said a blonde guy with a black tuft. ? What does that mean? Said a girl with pink skin and hair. Uraka, it was. It was the same thing he told me that day. Izuku, sighs, I can't feel any physical pain. No one or nothing can hurt me. Since I was 4 years old. I haven't felt any pain. I also can't get sick or tired. But I can die from lack of air. He said, leaving everyone except Katsuki impressed. Ida, I see. Is that why you survived that fall in the exam? Uraka, did you mean that when you told me that back then? Izuku, yes and no. Wait. So you can't feel pain? Said a red-haired guy with sharp teeth. Izuku, no. Is this some kind of joke? It's impossible for someone not to feel pain or get sick. Your quirk must be a resilient body, but indestructible sounds very unlikely. Said a black-haired girl with tied hair. Izuku, are you challenging me? Katsuki, what part of indestructible don't you understand, bunch of extras? That damn guy can't be hurt by anything. He said, pointing at Izuku. ? Not even by All Might? Said a green-haired girl with a frog-like appearance. Izuku, I don't know. All Might has never hit me. Aizawa, alright, enough chatter. Let's start the exercises. After that, everyone began doing the exercises. The black-haired guy didn't stand out much, the only thing noticeable was his stoic expression, and he seemed unaffected by the relentless exercises. His classmates were impressed, as it seemed Izuku wasn't lying about his quirk. Afterwards, they announced the results of the exercises. The black-haired guy ranked 10th, and last was a guy named Mineta. Aizawa, the expulsion thing was just a joke. It was a trick to get you to give it your all, he said with a sinister smile. After that, everyone started heading out to continue with normal classes until the end of the day. We can see the black-haired guy walking outside the school until he was interrupted by a blue-haired guy. Ida, Midoriya-kun. Izuku, yes? Ida, are you going to the train station? Can I accompany you? Izuku, sure. Uraka, hey, guys. Are you going to the station? Can I join you? Ida, oh, sure. Are you the one who marked infinity in the ball throw? Uraka, hee hee. Yeah. I'm Uraka Ochako. Ida, I'm Ida Tenya. He said with a bow. Uraka, and you're Midoriya. Deku, right? Izuku, no. Midoriya Izuku. Kachan gave me that nickname as a kid, which means useless. I don't know where he got that from. Ida, so it's an insult. Uraka, oh. But I actually like it, it sounds like the Japanese word for you can do it, and I like that. Izuku, oh. Well, you can call me that if you want. Uraka, oh. Hee hee, thanks. Hey, can I join you guys too? Said a red-haired guy with a toothy smile. Question mark, and me too? Said a sheepish black-haired girl. Izuku, of course. Man, you're amazing. Said the guy, slinging his arm around the black-haired guy's neck. Kirishima, you're Midoriya, right? Kirishima Eijiro, nice to meet you. He said, shaking the protagonist's hand. Izuku, likewise. Momo, I'm Yaoyorozu Momo. I'm sorry for what I said about your quirk, Midoriya-san. She said, a little embarrassed. Izuku, no problem. It's not unusual for people to doubt it. Kirishima, it's true. Your quirk is awesome. You really don't feel any pain since you were 4? Ida, oh, right, I wanted to ask you, Midoriya-kun. How does your quirk work? Is it just a resilient body, or do you really not feel pain? Izuku, I don't feel any pain. I can't be hurt either. My body is indestructible. Kirishima, cool. My quirk hardens my body, I'm pretty tough too. But I'm not indestructible. He said, using his quirk on his arm. Izuku, you have a limit, right? Kirishima, yeah. Izuku, Your quirk is pretty cool, Kirishima. It's similar to mine. Except mine is always on. And I don't have a limit. Kirishima, that makes you even cooler. Let's be friends. I'd love to train with you sometime. He said, giving a thumbs up. Momo, tell me, Midoriya-san. Can I ask you something? Izuku, you already did. Momo, well. I don't want to be rude, but why are you like this? Izuku, what do you mean? Momo, well. You know. Like. So serious and. Kirishima, emotionless. Ida, Kirishima-kun. Don't be so direct. Izuku, it's okay, Ida. That. I don't know. I've been like this since I was a baby. Baby? Izuku, yeah. My mom said I never cried or got mad when I was a baby. I don't know why. But I just can't feel emotions. Kirishima, no pain and no emotions. Wow. You seem like you're made in a lab. And so, the 5 of them went to the train station, talking about various topics. At UA, classes were pretty normal, not much different from any regular school. They had subjects like art with Cementos, advanced vocabulary with Midnight, math with Ectoplasm, regular classes, and sports with Aizawa, and English with Present Mike. Present Mike, okay. Can anyone tell me which of these English sentences is incorrect? Everyone, such a normal class. Katsuki, such a boring class. But the most standout class is the following. Yeah. A shout caught everyone's attention. I'm here walking through the door like a normal person. Izuku, what's normal about that? Everyone, All Might? Kirishima, it's true he's a teacher at UA. All Might, that's right, shonens. All Might will be your teacher from now on. And I'll be teaching you basic hero training. And today, what we'll do is combat training. He said, leaving everyone excited, especially Ash Blonde. All Might, for that, you'll need this. He said, pressing a button, and on the side, some briefcases appeared. All Might, these are your hero costumes, made according to the specifications we received, so go change and meet me at Field 0 in 10 minutes. After that, everyone went to grab their briefcases and changed. 10 minutes later, All Might stood at the beginning of a fake city in front of a tunnel, where one by one the students came out with their hero costumes, all looking great, from one with grenade bracelets to another that looked like a very fast robot. All Might, remember, young ones. From now on, you're all heroes. You all look amazing. Are we all here? Uraka, Deku-kun is still missing. Izuku, I'm coming. Izuku, I should have designed my costume better. I'm so clumsy. Flashback. Inko, Izuku. Is that going to be your hero costume? Izuku, yes. Do you think it's too normal? Inko, well. It's your costume and you decide on it. Although you should add more details. Don't you think? You know. To make you look tough and strong. Izuku, I think it's fine like this. End of flashback. Izuku, I regret not listening to you, Mom. Izuku emerged from the tunnel with his supposed hero costume, which was simply a white long-sleeved shirt and black pants with his typical red sneakers. Everyone looked at him strangely. Everyone, such a normal costume. Uraka, wow. Deku-kun. You look. Izuku, just say it. I look the same. All Might, Midoriya Shonen. Don't you think your costume is too simple? Izuku, yeah. Well, I'll have to redesign it later. Kirishima, I like your costume, Midoriya. It represents who you are very well, plus it looks great on you. It's very manly. Izuku, thanks, Kirishima. All Might, well. Let's start the training. Then All Might began to explain how the exercise worked. It was a hero versus villain combat exercise. The villains had to protect a bomb and the heroes had to retrieve it. The black-haired boy teamed up with Uraka, and they would fight against Bakugo and Iida's team. It's worth noting that the blonde grinned like a maniac at the thought of fighting Deku, and as always, this didn't bother him at all. All Might, from here, we can see all the confrontations. Kirishima, we'll see Midori bro fight, I can't wait to see how he is on the battlefield, he said, smiling. Midoriya's quirk makes him invincible, right? Said a boy with a crow's head. That seems like cheating Karo. Momo, although Midoriya-san could still lose this exercise. Because the villains could surround him with tape or time could run out. It's not just about being defeated. I can't wait to see Midoriya in action. Outside the building where the villains were hiding were Izuku and Uraka. Uraka, Deku-kun, what's the plan? Izuku, Kachan's on the opposing team. It's obvious he'll come straight for me. Uraka, you just focus on finding the bomb. I'll handle Kachan. My plan is to wear him out and use his quirk until he's exhausted, then when his guard is down, I'll capture him with the tape. Uraka, are you sure? We only have 15 minutes, and Bakugo-kun doesn't seem like he tires quickly. Besides, he looks too strong. Izuku, don't worry. Remember, he can't hurt me. All Might, the training starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Both entered the building walking, where they spent a while looking for a route to go up until in a place with an interception. Izuku stopped, as did Uraka, and from the side, a ash blonde flew out preparing an explosion that made Izuku throw himself back with Uraka dodging the explosion coming straight at him, which made her blush as the black-haired boy's head ended up between the brunette's chest. In the control area, a short guy with balls on his head cursed the black-haired mentally. Returning to the place, both boys got up while the blonde emerged from the smoke angry. Izuku, as I suspected. Kachan's coming straight for me. Katsuki, let's go, Deku. Don't dodge and fight. He ambushed them. Kirishima, ambushes aren't manly, Bakugo. Momo, although in a real battle, everything counts, Kirishima-san. Both boys faced each other. Izuku, Uraka. Run and find the bomb. I'll deal with him. Uraka, Deku-kun. Katsuki, you'll take care of me? What a good joke, damn nerd. He said before rushing towards him. Katsuki, I won't hurt you enough for them to stop the fight, but I'll get close. Katsuki was about to give him a punch along with an explosion, but Izuku grabbed his arm and using his strength lifted him to crash him against the ground, making him spit saliva. Uraka, awesome. You look like a martial artist. Izuku, Uraka. Go find the bomb. He said. Uraka didn't say anything and just left them alone. Izuku, Kachan. You usually start with a direct punch to the face. How long do you think I've been studying you? I wrote everything down in my notebook. The notebook you destroyed and threw in front of my eyes. Katsuki, deku. He said, getting up angrily. Once up, Izuku raised his hand towards him. Izuku, come at me. That was enough to anger Katsuki, who flew towards him very fast with the help of an explosion. Katsuki, damn freak. He said, giving a big explosion to Izuku, but he didn't flinch and came out of it to punch Katsuki in the face, making him step back. Izuku ran towards him to start throwing punches that he dodged. Then Katsuki gave him a big explosion in the chest, making him recoil a bit. Then Katsuki propelled himself towards him and gave him an explosion which Izuku covered with his arms. Izuku came out of the explosion and punched Katsuki in the stomach, then twice in the face, but Katsuki gave him an explosion that made him step back again, and Katsuki jumped to propel himself downwards and gave him an explosion that Izuku dodged by jumping, then kicked Katsuki in the head, and with his other foot grabbed his head to then spin and crash Katsuki against the floor. Izuku stepped away from him, waiting for the next move. In the control room, everyone was impressed. His movements are incredible. He combines different fighting styles. And he doesn't seem to be injured at all. That proves he's not lying about his quirk. Katsuki rose with an explosion, then propelled himself at great speed towards Izuku. Instead of another explosion, he took advantage of Izuku's cover to punch him in the stomach, then hit him in the jaw and gave him an explosion that sent him flying. As Izuku regained his composure, he received another explosion. But then Izuku grabbed his glove and delivered a strong blow to Katsuki's face, making his nose bleed slightly. Katsuki stepped back, observing Izuku without a scratch from his explosions except on his clothes. Angry, Katsuki went straight for a kick, but Izuku dodged it by ducking. Katsuki seized the opportunity to give another explosion that Izuku didn't dodge. Katsuki clenched his hands as they ignited with small explosions, preparing for a much bigger explosion. Izuku dodged the enormous explosion by ducking, then kicked Katsuki's legs, causing him to stumble. Izuku then performed a kind of breakdance, leaping to kick Katsuki, but an explosion prevented it. Katsuki got up to grab Izuku's leg and throw him against the wall with an explosion. Izuku seized the momentum to crash against the wall and propel himself back towards Katsuki. Izuku, Fumsu no Hado. He said, headbutting Katsuki in the stomach, making him spit saliva. What was that? It was incredible. He seems to think his moves very well. Both his own and his opponent's attacks. He used the explosion as momentum to use the wall as a spring and propel himself with more force to hit him. Said a guy with the left half of his body covered in ice. Momo, using the explosion's momentum with an indestructible body. And returning the blow with greater impact momentum. It's an incredible strategy by Midoriya-san. Back in the fight, Izuku took advantage of Katsuki's vulnerability to tie him up with tape, but Katsuki, in a rapid movement, made an explosion to push him away. In that moment, Izuku escaped. Katsuki, damn. That did hurt. That damn nerd. His damn quirk is such unfair bullshit. He said, then started walking, looking for him. Katsuki, hey damn Deku. Why the hell are you running away? Not so brave now, huh? While Izuku was hiding, or rather, waiting for Katsuki to find him. Izuku, what the hell are you saying? Uraka, what's your position? Uraka, Deku-kun, I found the bomb. Ida-kun found me, I'm in front of him and... Ha! You should see how he acts, it would crack you up. Izuku. Uraka, oh. Right. Izuku, where are you? Uraka, on the 5th floor. Izuku, They're just above. If only I could do something too. Izuku was interrupted by a sound, then he looked to his side and at the other end of the hallway was Katsuki, angry, with a faint red glow emanating from his left glove. Katsuki, it's charged. Izuku, bingo. Both began to look at each other seriously until Katsuki smiled with superiority. Katsuki, let's see how well you've studied me, Deku. With your stalking, you should already know, but... My explosion quirk makes me sweat a substance similar to nitroglycerin and ignite it. Izuku, I already know that. Katsuki, if they made my suit as I specified. Then these gloves store the nitroglycerin and hold it inside them. He said, pulling the tab on his glove, revealing a small lock, placing his finger on it, causing All Might to be alarmed. Katsuki, do you have any idea what will happen if I remove this lock? All Might, Bakugo Shonen. Stop. Are you trying to kill him? Katsuki, all right. He won't die if he dodges it. He said, smiling like a lunatic. Katsuki, let's see if you're still indestructible after this. He shouted, pulling the lock from his glove and releasing the explosion towards Izuku, who only covered himself with his arms, taking the full brunt of the attack. The explosion was so immense that the side of the building was blown away, leaving all the students terrified. All Might, Midoriya Shonen? Answer, Midoriya Shonen. In the scene, we see the black-haired boy in the same position without a single scratch, his shirt burning. Izuku, damn. He's truly insane. Question mark, is this a joke? Question mark, he took the full blast and doesn't have a scratch. Anyone else would have died. Midoriya really is indestructible. Katsuki approached Izuku slowly, laughing, while the latter tore off his flaming shirt, revealing his toned abdomen. In the control room, some girls blushed. Katsuki, ha ha ha. Incredible. The more nitroglycerin it holds, the bigger the explosion. He said with a smile of superiority, while his other glove also glowed. Uraka, Deku-kun. What was that loud noise? She said through the communicator. Izuku, Uraka. What's your position? Katsuki, TSK. Ignoring me again, huh? He said, pointing his other glove. All Might, Bakugo Shonen. If you use that attack again, your team will be disqualified. Katsuki, what? Why the hell? All Might, using attacks of that magnitude within a confined space causing destruction to the base you're trying to protect. It's a ridiculous plan for heroes or villains. Katsuki, ugh. Ah. Izuku, when I tell you, grab onto a pillar away from the center. He said to Uraka, but was interrupted by the sound of an explosion. Katsuki, fine. Let's fight with our fists. He said, propelling himself very quickly towards Izuku. Izuku, I can't dodge it. Counterattack. He thought mentally, preparing his fist to strike. As he got close, Izuku threw a punch but was blinded by an explosion from Katsuki, changing his trajectory. Behind him, another explosion hit Izuku in the back. Kirishima, what was that now? Question mark, he doesn't seem to think the same way as Midoriya. He did the same thing as him. Used an explosion to change his trajectory and used another explosion as momentum to attack him. Goodness. Back to the fight. Katsuki, come on. It's your favorite right-hand punch. He said, hitting Izuku's arm with his glove, and before he could make another move, Izuku was grabbed by the arm. Katsuki, Deku. You're. He said, using explosions to lift Izuku and slam him hard against the ground. Katsuki, inferior to me. Izuku, he doesn't give me a chance to think. Kachan is very strong. My plan was to tire him out to capture him with the tape. But I didn't consider his strength. I have to fight and win. Question mark, those aren't the actions of a hero. Goodness. Midoriya is far superior to Bakugo when it comes to planning and strategy. But in terms of combat, Bakugo is undoubtedly instinctual. Izuku got up and moved towards one of the windows. Katsuki, you're not so brave now, huh? Deku. Izuku, it's not about that. Katsuki, you've been like this since we were kids. You've been mocking me ever since then. Izuku, it's not about any of that. You just hear what you want to hear. I've never acted brave. You just can't defeat me, Kachan. And you never will defeat me. What he said was enough to infuriate Katsuki even more. Katsuki, don't talk to me like that. You damn freak. He yelled, and both ran in each other's direction, Izuku preparing his fist and Katsuki preparing a big explosion. Face to face, Izuku changed the direction of the blow, and Katsuki gave him an explosion, but Izuku didn't flinch and landed a strong punch to Katsuki's jaw, lifting him slightly. Then Katsuki tried another explosion, but Izuku diverted it with his fist, and Katsuki hit him with another explosion from his other hand. However, Izuku grabbed his glove and headbutted him directly in the nose. Still holding onto his glove, he delivered another blow, and another, starting a combo that Katsuki couldn't dodge. Katsuki then raised his hand with an explosion and punched Izuku directly in the head with his glove. But then, Katsuki gathered both hands preparing for a huge explosion, hitting Izuku head-on and sending him flying towards a crumbling wall. At that moment, Katsuki remembered what Izuku did before and regretted his actions. Izuku, that's it. You did exactly what I needed to finish you, Katsuki. It can't be. I fell into his damn trap. Then, Izuku collided with the wall, preparing his legs and making an incredible jump with incredible momentum, completely destroying the wall. He sped towards Katsuki, who couldn't evade him, while Izuku's fist was enveloped in a tornado of air. Izuku, game over. Kachan. He shouted, then delivered a powerful blow to Katsuki, who could barely shield himself with one of his gloves. Izuku, Fumsu no. He said, exerting more force and destroying Katsuki's glove with his fist, sending him crashing to the ground, creating a crater with his punch. Then, he jumped to the ceiling, preparing both fists. Izuku, Hanma a. He yelled, hitting Katsuki with both fists, completely destroying the floor and sending him plummeting down a floor, creating a giant cloud of dust, leaving everyone in the control room completely amazed. Everyone, Midoriya. They all shouted, fascinated by the black-haired boy's strength. All Might, I thought his quirk was just an indestructible body. He defeated Bakugo with that last punch using only his strength. What the heck, Shonen? Returning to the building after the dust settled, we can see Izuku atop a completely defeated Katsuki. Izuku, I win. After that, Izuku removed the glove, which was filled. All Might, what does he plan to do? Izuku, now, Uraka. Get away from the center. Uraka, got it. She said, embracing one of the pillars. Izuku put on the glove and pointed it directly at the ceiling. All Might, Midoriya Shonen. Izuku removed the safety, and a massive explosion shot upwards, destroying several floors until it reached the bomb floor. Uraka used her quirk and removed the weight from the pillar. Uraka, sorry, Ida-kun. Improvised move, Comet home run. She said, hitting the debris with the pillar like a bat. Ida got distracted, and Uraka used her quirk to jump to the bomb. Uraka, retrieved. Ida, no, the bomb. Everyone was completely speechless, even All Might. Then, the clock reached 0. Izuku, right on time. All Might, the heroes. The hero team. 5-5. After the big fight between Izuku and Bakugo, Bakugo was taken to the nurse's office. When the match ended, the kids returned to the control room where everyone approached Midoriya. Kirishima, Midoriya. You were amazing. He said excitedly. I can't believe you beat Bakugo. You moved amazingly. Your fighting style is impressive, Karo. Your quirk is extraordinary. You're very skilled. Mina, I'm Ashido Mina. You moved amazingly. She repeated excitedly. Kaminari, I'm Kaminari Denki. Sero, I'm Sero Hanta. All Might, ahem. He coughed to get attention. All Might, well, young ones, can anyone tell me what mistake the kids made in the fight? Izuku, Well, Kachan just let his instincts and rivalry against me take over. He forgot that the main goal was to defend the bomb and capture the heroes. He even lost his cool out of desperation for not being able to hurt me and used a very powerful attack that destroyed his base. Then, he relied too much on his strength and tried to hurt me as much as he could, acting like a real villain. Katsuki, TSK. Stop talking about me as if I can't hear you, Deku. Katsuki limped into the room, holding his chest where his ribs were. Kirishima, Bakugo, are you okay? He reached out his hand, but Katsuki slapped it away. Katsuki, of course, I'm fine. Don't worry about me, damn period-haired. Og. He winced in pain. Izuku, can I continue? All Might, why yes, if you wish. Izuku, well, as for me, I decided to fight against him and try to capture him to win, but I forgot how strong Kachan is and decided to fight seriously. When I won, I used the same attack to destroy the floors, putting my teammate at risk. Regarding that, I wasn't with Uraka when she fought Ida, but her attitude was out of place. She showed she wasn't taking the exercise seriously since she was laughing at her opponent. Uraka felt down because of that. All Might, well, Midoriya kid. He said everything he was going to say, with a sweat drop. Midoriya-chan. A green-haired girl approached. Izuku, yes? Tsuyu, I'm Asui Tsuyu, you can call me Su-chan Karo. Sato, I'm Rikido Sato. Mineta, I'm Mineta. Aoyama, I'm Aoyama Yuga. Doesn't this cape look fabulous on me? Striking a diva pose. All Might, very well, young ones, there'll be time for introductions later. Let's continue with the exercises. Everyone, yes, sensei. The next team was Ojiro Mashirao and Hagakure Toru against Todoroki Shoto and Shoji Mezo, who won very easily because Todoroki froze the entire building in seconds. His power impressed everyone, even Izuku and Katsuki looked at him with fear. This continued with the rest of the fights until the exercise was over. All Might, that's all for now, young ones. Hero class is over. I'll pass on the reports I have to your teacher, Aizawa. Tsuyu, I hope no one gets expelled Karo. Then, All Might coughed up a bit of blood. All Might, damn, time's running out All Might, it's been a pleasure, young ones. It's time for me to go. But first. Midoriya kid, can we talk in private? Izuku, yeah, sure. He walked over stoically as always. Most of the class found it strange that he was being called. Sero, why do you think All Might called Midoriya? Kaminari, maybe he wants to talk to him about his incredible quirk. He said with a big smile. Mina, yeah, right. Midoriya's quirk is more than amazing. Aoyama, and it's very. Mina, yes, it's awesome. She interrupted Aoyama. After everyone left for their classroom, elsewhere All Might stood in front of Izuku, who watched him sweat profusely. All Might, Midoriya kid. I have something important to discuss with you. Oh no, I can't hold it any longer. Then, a lot of steam started coming out of his body, observed by Izuku who showed no emotion, as usual, only for the steam to disappear, revealing an unnaturally thin man with messy blonde hair. Izuku, All Might? He asked, confused. All Might. Yes, Midoriya kid. Izuku, what happened to you? You look like an anorexic fish. All Might, that wasn't necessary. He said seriously before coughing a few times. All Might, Midoriya kid. I have something very important to tell you. But promise me you won't tell anyone, or post it on social media. Izuku, sure. I promise. After that, All Might began to tell him about how he got his injury and the state he was in, and then he started telling him about a quirk that has been passed down through generations like a sacred torch, one for all, which surprised Izuku. It's hard to believe that your favorite hero has a quirk that isn't his own. All Might, this is highly confidential. If this gets to the ears of villains, chaos will erupt in society. Izuku, and why are you telling me all this, All Might? All Might, because. Midoriya kid. I have decided that you should be my successor. He said very seriously. Izuku remained stoic as he always does. All Might, you would be the perfect vessel for one for all. Another person would probably explode when using a power like this. But your quirk. Your quirk is one of the most impressive I've seen. Imagine that. You would be unstoppable. The power of one for all combined with your indestructible quirk. You would be the best and most qualified to become the number one hero. Izuku was thoughtful about accepting his power, his gaze lowered to the floor, thinking deeply. Besides having his own quirk, having another with overwhelming strength would make him completely invincible, which tempted him a lot, but. Izuku, I appreciate your offer, All Might. But no thanks. All Might, huh? No? Are you sure? Izuku, very sure. I don't want to receive your power. He firmly declined. All Might, but. You would be the strongest of all. And your path to becoming the number one hero would be more than assured. Izuku, that's the problem. I'm very content with my quirk as it is. I wouldn't want shortcuts. To something I want to achieve on my own. Besides, what's the use of being the strongest? If there won't be anyone who can challenge me? I'm sorry. But I refuse. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Can I go now? Izuku's response surprised All Might a lot. He didn't think he would reject such power, but after all, it's his decision. All Might, all right, Midoriya kid. You have every right to refuse. You can go back to your classroom now. Izuku, excuse me. He bows. After that, Izuku went straight to his classroom, being watched by All Might, who left after he did. Once he was sure he was alone, All Might decided to take out his phone and call someone. The call took a long time to connect since the place was far away. Hello? All Might, hello, darling. It's me. Your Uncle Might. Meanwhile, with Izuku. After changing, Izuku returned to the classroom to pick up his things and leave the academy, as classes had already ended. But as he entered, he was surrounded by his classmates again. Kirishima, Midori bro. How did it go? Sero, what did All Might ask you? Momo, did he talk about your quirk? Mina, did he congratulate you on the battle? More and more questions were thrown at the dark-haired boy, which he simply ignored. TSK. How noisy. Ida, Tokoyami-kun. Desks aren't chairs. Please get down immediately. He says, shaking his arm as he does. Tokoyami, TSK. How noisy. Uraka, Ida-kun is very strict. Izuku, yeah. Then, Izuku noticed his friend's seat was empty. Izuku, Uraka. Where is he? Uraka, oh. He left earlier. Said. He didn't even want to see you. Izuku. Upon hearing that, Izuku left the classroom to look for Katsuki. Eventually, he found him at the entrance of the academy, about to leave. Izuku, hey. Katsuki, he stops abruptly without turning to look at him. Izuku, do you want to tell me something? Katsuki, he begins to turn slowly. Izuku, don't hold back. Just let it out. Katsuki looked at him with a vein popping on his head. Katsuki, you'll never stop annoying me. You've been nothing but a thorn in my side my whole life. And the worst part, I can't even do anything in front of you. How can I be number one? If there's always someone above me that I can't defeat? When I saw the ice guy, I thought, I can't beat him. Do you understand? I don't know what to do. I've always been better than those around me. I was the strongest of all. But you. Katsuki looked up, showing some tears in his eyes. Katsuki, you are completely superior to me. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Izuku just watched him vent without saying a word. Katsuki, hey, damn Deku. I'm just getting started too. No matter if you're better than me, you won't defeat me again, scum. Katsuki finished speaking and then wiped away his tears. Izuku approached him slowly until they were face to face. Izuku. Katsuki. Izuku, Kachan. I'm not better than you. You made that very clear. Don't underestimate yourself. Pride is also important. Don't destroy your own pride. That's what makes you Bakugo Katsuki. You're one of the strongest people I know. And if it weren't for my quirk, you would destroy me in seconds because apart from your strength, you have an incredible quirk with which you could beat anyone. Keep being proud and keep your eyes on your goal. Becoming the number one hero. He said before walking to the exit, leaving Katsuki paralyzed. Izuku, of course. If you can achieve it. Before me. Because I'm also aiming to be number one. Katsuki reacted to this, while Izuku continued to walk away. Katsuki, don't think I'll let you. You won't defeat me ever again. I'll become the number one hero before you. And you'll follow in my shadow. He said before leaving, brushing shoulders with him, while Izuku watched him go. Izuku, stay proud until you reach your goals. Bakugo Katsuki. Meanwhile, the girls watched them from the window of their classroom. Uraka, did anyone hear what they said? Tsuyu, was it a declaration of war, maybe? Karo. Mina, I don't know. But now I ship them. A new day in Japan, and the black-haired boy was walking to his academy. Before entering, he was surrounded by a bunch of reporters. Reporter, UA student. Tell us, what is All Might like as a teacher? Izuku, first of all, good morning. Second, I'm not allowed to talk about my teacher. Excuse me, I'll be late for class. He said, leaving all the reporters stunned. Bystander, ha, what a troll. Inside the school, before entering his classroom, Izuku noticed 3 girls from the neighboring class, Class B. 2 of them went into their room, but one black-haired girl made eye contact with Izuku. They stared at each other for a while before she went into her classroom. Izuku, is she indestructible too? He thought as he walked into his class, where only a few of his classmates were present. Kirishima, you made it, Midori bro. Ida, good morning, Midoriya-kun. Izuku, good morning, guys. He said stoically, walking to his seat. Kirishima, hey Midori bro, did you notice there's a girl in Class B who looks just like you? Izuku, yeah, I just saw her. Kaminari, do you know her by any chance? Izuku, no. A few minutes later, the classroom was full. Aizawa, good morning. Aizawa arrived, wrapped in his sleeping bag as usual. Aizawa, All Might gave me the combat reports. I have nothing to say about the group except for 2 of you. Bakugo. Katsuki, huh? Aizawa, you're very strong. But you need to learn control and stop acting like a child. Katsuki, TSK. Looks away. Aizawa, and Midoriya. Izuku, yes? Aizawa, you also have great strength. I hope you didn't deceive me during the ball throw. He said, looking directly at Izuku. Izuku, yes. Aizawa, moving on. We have a special activity today. You will choose the class representative. Everyone, a normal activity. Everyone started clamoring to be the representative, but they ended up voting, and the protagonist became the representative, with Momo as the vice representative. Momo, it's a pleasure to work with you, Midoriya-san. She said with a calm smile. Izuku, yes. Momo, hee. He still scares me. Later, at lunchtime, our protagonist was sitting with his friends, where Ida seemed frustrated about not being chosen as the representative. He started talking to Uraka about his brother while Izuku focused on his food. Then, an alarm sounded, causing everyone to run because someone had broken into the school. His friends ran, but Izuku stayed put. Ida, Midoriya-kun. We have to evacuate. Izuku, I'm not done eating yet. It's probably just the reporters who were bothering at the entrance. If I'm right, you can ask Uraka to make you float to calm everyone down. He said stoically, eating his food. Ida and Uraka ran, and they saw through a window that Izuku was right, it was the media who had breached the barrier. They did as Izuku suggested and calmed the students. Later that day. Izuku. Momo. Midoriya-san? Izuku, yes? Momo, you haven't said anything for 5 minutes. Everyone is waiting to hear from the representative. Izuku realized he was in front of the whole class. Izuku, oh right. We were in a meeting. Well, I don't know what to say. I've never been a class representative before. Kaminari, ha, that's why we chose you, you always say what you think, you're very straightforward. Kirishima, and you know how to handle any situation. Ida, you figured out what happened with the alarm and told me how to calm everyone down. There's no one more suitable to be the representative than you, Midoriya-kun. Izuku, Well, I don't know what to do now. But when you need me, I'll be here for you. Everyone, yes, representative. The next day, Mr. Aizawa informed the class they were going to the USJ. Ida, everyone line up to get on the bus. He said, blowing a whistle. Izuku, Ida. We can hear you. No need to shout. Ida, sorry, class rep. Izuku, alright. He said, starting to clap. Izuku, everyone, please organize yourselves and get on the bus calmly. Don't push, everyone will get on. Everyone, much better, most thought, relieved. Everyone started boarding the bus, but the seats were different from a regular bus, frustrating Ida. Ida, I had no idea the bus was like this. He said, covering his face. Tsuyu, I always say what I think. Midoriya-chan. She said, looking at Izuku next to her. Izuku, yes? Tsuyu, you're a lot like Aizawa-sensei. Izuku, yes. I noticed that too. Kirishima, but Aizawa-sensei does show emotions and changes his expressions. Tsuyu, that's true. Karo, I wanted to know, why are you like this? She asked, putting a finger on her chin. Izuku, I don't know. I've always been like this. Ever since I was a baby, I never showed any emotion. Everyone, since you were a baby? Most asked, amazed. Izuku, yup. I don't know why, but that's how I am. Kaminari, Midoriya is so cool. He has an awesome quirk and a whatever vibe. Kirishima, ha, yeah, he's cool. Tsuyu, why didn't you bring your costume to USJ, Midoriya-chan? Izuku, it got destroyed because of someone I won't name, but I'm looking at him right now. He said, staring directly at Katsuki. Katsuki, what the hell are you blaming me for, Deku? You were the one who stood still. Izuku, and who went crazy launching that attack. Katsuki, TSK. Tsuyu, Bakugo-chan is always angry, he'll never be popular because of that. Katsuki, what did you say, you damn frog? Tsuyu, see. After that, they arrived at the training location, where they were greeted by a hero in a space suit known as 13. Aizawa explained they would practice rescues and quirk regulation. Inside, there were various environments simulating different natural disasters. But before they started, something strange happened in the center. A black and purple mist appeared, from which a blue-haired guy with hands on his body, a muscular bird-like man, and a bunch of people with bad intentions emerged. Uraka, Aizawa-sensei, who are they? She asked, a bit scared. Kirishima, UA is amazing. They even have fake villains. Izuku, they're not fake, Kirishima. Aizawa, Midoriya is right, they're real villains. He said, scaring most of the students. Kurogiri, where's All Might? Kurogiri, he should be here, but instead, it's just Eraserhead and 13. While they talked, Izuku devised a plan. Izuku, Ida, you're the fastest here, escape and get help from UA. Ida, what? I'm not leaving. Izuku, Ida. That's an order from your class rep. He said, looking seriously at Ida, who then accepted the plan, turned on his engines, and ran towards the doors. Well. If All Might isn't here. We'll deal a blow to his pride by killing some of his. He stopped talking when he saw Ida trying to escape. Kurogiri. Don't let any student escape. Separate them and kill them all. Kurogiri, as you command, Shigaraki Tomura. The misknown as Kurogiri positioned himself at the entrance of USJ, but it was too late, Ida had already escaped. Kurogiri, damn, he got away. But he was met with an explosion and a punch from Katsuki and Kirishima. Kirishima, who are you? What do you want? He said, with his arms hardened. Katsuki, I'll kill you. Izuku, you two be careful with that thing. We don't know what it can do. Kurogiri, it's rude to attack someone without introducing yourself. Izuku, he's right. I'll start from the beginning. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and I'm a hero. Aizawa, not yet. Izuku, shut up. And who are you? Kurogiri, ahem. My name is Kurogiri and we are the League of Villains. We've come to kill the symbol of peace. But he couldn't finish as he began to be sucked in by 13. Kurogiri, TSK. The Space Hero, number 13. 13, black hole. She said, using all 5 fingers to increase the suction power on the mist. Izuku, be careful, 13. He can open a portal behind you and use your quirk against you. 13, what? She stopped her quirk just in time to avoid being sucked in by her own power. Kaminari, Midoriya is really sharp. Kurogiri, this kid is good. He'd be useful in the league. At that moment, 2 students launched themselves at the mist, ready to attack. Kirishima, don't underestimate UA. Katsuki, DE. They yelled, but before they could strike, Kurogiri opened portals, making them disappear, and then started to warp the entire class. 13, black hole. She activated her quirk, but was sucked into a portal, reappearing high in the air and crashing down, rendering her unconscious. Mina/Uraka, 13 sensei. Kurogiri, finally, one less annoyance. But then, Uraka and her friend Shoji executed a plan to launch the mist away from them. Tomura, TSK. All of you. Go have fun with those brats. Aizawa, you'll pay for trying to hurt my students. He said, putting on his goggles. Izuku, I'm going with you, sensei. Aizawa, no, stay with the others. Izuku, have you forgotten that I can't be hurt? Aizawa, you're still just a student. You don't have permission. Before they could argue further, Izuku jumped into action. Aizawa, Midoriya. That kid is in serious trouble. Aizawa also leapt into the fray. Everyone, sensei. Midoriya. Villain 1, who are they? Villain 2, just a hero and a show-off kid. We'll finish them easily. One villain aimed finger-like mini-cannons at Izuku and started shooting, but every bullet bounced off his body as if hitting solid iron, leaving many stunned. Izuku then rushed forward, delivering a powerful punch to the villain's face, destroying his metal mask and creating a crater, knocking the villain out. A female villain with leg-based quirk jumped at him to kick him. Villainous, bastard. But she was caught by some scarves and repeatedly slammed into other villains, leaving them incapacitated. Izuku, good job, Aizawa. Aizawa, you're the student, I should be telling you that. Izuku, whatever. Izuku continued fighting alongside Aizawa, but his attention was drawn to the villain he had slammed into the ground. Aizawa, he took down a villain with one hit. He definitely deceived me during the ball throw, he thought, continuing to fight. Izuku was still battling when a large 4-armed villain attacked. Despite his size, the villain was fast. Izuku grabbed one of his fists, swung between his legs, and reached his back. He then propelled himself upward and did a flip, diving down. Izuku, Fumsu no Hado. He shouted, headbutting the villain and creating a crater, knocking him out. But then, the blue-haired man rushed at him, trying to touch him with his hand. Before he could, Izuku punched him in the cheek, causing the hand to fall off his face, revealing it. Tomura, AHH. This is bad. This is very bad. Father. He cried, grabbing for the fallen hand. Once he put it back on, he glared at Izuku with intense anger. Tomura, you're going to pay for that. Izuku, are you the leader? What do you want, villains? Tomura, Ha ha ha. Isn't it obvious? We came to kill All Might. But since he's not here, we'll kill you instead. Starting with you. Izuku, oh yeah? And how do you plan to do that? Tomura, do you know what happens if I touch you with all 5 fingers? He said with a psychotic grin. Izuku, no. At that moment, the villain rushed at him with a maniacal smile, readying his 5 fingers. Tomura, then I'll show you. De. He shouted, touching Izuku's neck with all 5 fingers. But nothing happened. Izuku stood with his eyes closed, waiting for something to happen. Izuku, is that all? Tomura, huh? What? He asked, utterly confused. Tomura, what's wrong with my quirk? Tomura glanced at Aizawa, who was still fighting other villains and wasn't looking at him to erase his quirk. Tomura, Eraserhead isn't using his quirk on me. What did you do? Why isn't my quirk working on you? He asked angrily, gripping harder. Izuku simply grabbed his hand to make him let go. Izuku. I'm indestructible. He said, leaving Tomura deeply confused. Tomura then used his other hand to touch him, but the result was the same. Izuku, no matter how you try or where you touch me, your quirk won't affect me. I imagine it's a quirk you can't control. Something like disintegrating. Turning things to dust with all 5 fingers. And you always use it if you touch things with all 5 fingers. Tomura, TSK. You figured out my quirk. So I can't use it against you? How am I supposed to kill you then? Izuku, I can't be hurt or affected by quirks. But I can die from lack of air. Tomura, what? Ha ha. I can't believe. You're stupid enough to tell me that. Tomura tried to strangle him, but Izuku quickly grabbed both his wrists, applying pressure and causing him pain. Tomura, egg. Damn it, let go. He said angrily, starting to kick him. Izuku, no matter how you attack me, you can't hurt me. Tomura, TSK. Suddenly, the background darkened, as if only they existed in that space. Tomura, you're impressive. Your quirk is extraordinary. You're strong and good in combat. With someone like you in my league, we'd be unstoppable. How about you join me? You wouldn't have to deal with these so-called heroes. You'd have everything you want. And no one could stop us if you joined. He said with a more psychotic grin. The background returned to normal, and Izuku applied more pressure to his wrists. Izuku, not in your wildest dreams would I join you. Tomura, AGH. Damn you. He shouted, feeling intense pain in his wrists. Izuku, how about I break your wrists? Tomura, Nomu. At that moment, the humanoid bird-like creature lunged at him, delivering an incredible punch that sent Izuku flying into a wall, taking trees and rocks along the way. Aizawa, Midoriya. Meanwhile, Aizawa continued to evade Nomu's attacks. Tomura, finish him, Nomu. TSK. Damn it. He said, feeling the pain in his wrists, now purple from Izuku's grip. The mist appeared beside Tomura. Kurogiri, Shigaraki Tomura. 13 has been defeated and most of the students have been separated. But one of the students escaped. Tomura, what? And you're telling me this now? He said, scratching his neck. Tomura, Nomu. Finish him off already. While Aizawa dodged Nomu's attacks as best as he could, Izuku recovered from the powerful hit. Izuku, damn it. I couldn't dodge it in time, it's too fast. Izuku started running very fast, but then an explosion was heard from the other side as the blonde guy flew through the sky using his explosions. Izuku, Kachan. He called out to him. Izuku, sensei. Help me. Aizawa, huh? Then, Aizawa noticed Katsuki flying in the sky. Aizawa, of course. Aizawa moved away from Nomu, grabbed Izuku with his cloth and threw him with great force towards Katsuki, who grabbed his hand and started spinning with explosions. Katsuki, Explodo Catapult. He shouted, launching Izuku at Nomu with an explosion, while his fists surrounded by a tornado of air. Izuku, Indestructible Hammer. Izuku yelled, hitting Nomu in the face with all his strength, making him stagger back a lot. Both boys landed next to their teacher, ready to keep fighting. Aizawa, well done, my kids. Tomura was fuming with rage, his Nomu was losing to them. Then, Tomura turned his gaze and saw 2 kids by the edge of a pond watching the fight, a green-haired girl and a short boy with tears in his eyes. Tomura, TSK. I won't accept defeat until I at least kill one of the Symbol of Peace's students. Then, Tomura ran at high speed, intending to touch the frog girl with his fingers. She got very scared and the short boy peed himself from fear, but before Tomura could touch her, someone grabbed him by the head. Izuku, where do you think you're going? Tomura, Nomu. Suddenly, Nomu was behind Izuku and gave him an incredible punch, causing a small earthquake and a big cloud of dust. Aizawa, Midoriya. Tomura, damn Nomu. You almost made me into a pulp. He said, barely escaping the punch. The dust cleared, revealing Izuku holding Nomu's fist while the two kids were still there. Tsuyu, Midoriya-chan. Izuku, Tsuyu, Mineta, get out of here while I stop him. Nomu was about to punch again and Tomura went towards the two kids, but a loud noise interrupted everything. Everything's fine now, he said, entering the USJ while the students cried with relief. Do you know why? All Might, because I am here.